Good morning, 6B. So today you'll be using the color sensor in a switch to detect 3 or more different color cases. So we'll be measuring color with our robots. And we'll be performing different functions depending on what color your robot's measuring. Here I have the program that you guys have on your papers, and as I'm talking about it, please take notes on your sheets as to what it's doing. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit right here. I'm introducing new functions. We're using the display action blocks and the sound action blocks, and we'll go into those in a second. But let's talk about what our switch is doing. So our default case right here is no color. So because it's checked, that is my default case. I could switch it to blue over here, but our default case is no color. And remember, in a default case, that's the one that your robot will automatically default to if it doesn't read any other color. So the default case is no color, and if it's not reading any color rather, it will display text that says nada. If it reads the color blue, it will display text that says blue on your display on your robot. If it's reading the color green, it's going to play a sound. It's going to play a note, C6. I'm not really musically inclined, so I wouldn't know what a C6 sounds like, but those of you that are, I'm sure you'll recognize it. And then the last one, if it reads the color red, it's going to display the the text red on your display. Just going to run it really quick, so I'm going to show you on my dot cam the robot that I have set up. And the name of the the name of the program is called Many Cases. And right now, if I turn him on, you'll see he says nada. So it currently says nada. If I give it red, it changes to red. If it measures green, it's going to play a note. Nada's still there, but it's playing a note. Really annoying, so please spare Miss Butry. And then we have blue. If it reads blue, it's going to display blue. Now, let's talk about the display action blocks and the sound action blocks, which are in the back of your page. Display action blocks basically let you output to the display. And like I was showing you before, this is your display, remember? So we can either display text that we write, and I'll show you guys, we can do pixels or grid. Pixels is the one that I prefer. And you just click on this box up here, the one that says nada, and type a message, some message. And in the default case, some message would appear whenever it doesn't pick up a color. You could also go into shapes, and we can draw shapes, draw points, lines, circles. And one that 6A found to be very fun was using images. So there's actually a whole library that these robots have access to. So once you click on image, you can actually click right here on file name. And let me just close these up. If you go to project images, it shows you what it currently has. But if you go to Lego image files, here's a library. You have eyes, expressions. There's a whole bunch of different ones. So you have many different images you can actually display on the screen. 6A had a lot of fun with putting eyes on their robots, so I could put some angry eyes. So then we have sound. With sound, just like with display, we have many options. We have stop the sound, we have play a file, play tones, and play notes. Again, I'm not musically inclined, so I'm not really familiar with tones, but let me just show you guys some of the options. So if you play note, you click here where it says C6, and you can play any piano tone you want. You can adjust the duration and the volume over here. And if you want to play a tone, you can choose different tones. You have C sharp, A sharp, G sharp, etc. And just like what 6A did, you can also play from file, and there's a whole library of different sounds, animal sounds, color sounds, expressions. Explore, guys, I encourage it. But please don't choose sounds that are really too annoying or drive poor Miss Petrie nuts with the sounds. So display action blocks basically let you output different text and images to the display screen. Sound action blocks let us play different sounds, and these are all actions that we can see easily and help us determine whether or not our robot is correctly recognizing any of these colors. So please be sure to choose a distinct action for each color that you put. And very important, before I forget, to add cases. You'll see on here that there is a little plus. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. So there's a little plus right here, and if you hover over it for a bit, it says add case. You click on it, and then you go down and you'll see that a new one's been created. So you click on the question mark, and now you select a new color. Now this robot would be able to recognize another color, and perhaps I want to have it display text that says yellow. By default, it comes out to Mindstorms, but just call it yellow. And that's pretty much it. I would like everyone to have at least 3 different color cases and to have unique actions that happen. Doesn't necessarily have to be sound and display action blocks. You may use the motors as well. Just keep in mind that they must be very unique. This way you definitely know that this robot's reading yellow correctly. You definitely know that this robot's reading green correctly. And remember, as always, when we're using these colors, we want to use the Lego color bricks, because remember, our robots are looking for a very particular version of green. It's Lego's version. Okay, well, have fun today, guys.